Alright, Brush Monkeys, welcome back. Happy New Year. We are starting in this year on Raging Heroes miniatures, line of Daughters of the Crucible. Sort of like essentially nuns with guns. And they've got a bunch of different ones. I ordered 4 to begin with, and then I really liked how they looked, so I ordered 5 more. And this is really the one that I started out with, because that gun pose is done. Looks like the gun kata pose in Equilibrium. It's a movie with Christian Bale. So if you get a chance to rent that, definitely go see that. But I wanted to take a moment here and look at the ones that I've got and maybe clean up. They come with 25mm black bases. I wanted them, because they're nuns with guns, I wanted them to kind of match with my Sisters of Battle that I did last year. So I've got the 32mm bases from Citadel. And so I'm going to have them on those. And see, I've got 4 bases picked out for the 4 that I have. I also have another little bunch of bases set aside for the ones that are on their way. But I wanted to do a quick like unboxing and review of these miniatures. They're all kind of Hispanic nuns. They all at least have Hispanic names. Rosario Vasquez, Cookie La Loca, Lupita Love, and Justicia Luz. And I want to do an unboxing and review of the miniatures themselves, because I really liked how they looked online, and I was kind of looking forward to seeing how they look in person. Now they all come with this little card here. It's got artwork front and back. Okay. And then you've got the miniature itself in a little baggie. And there's the 25mm slaughter base that it goes on. And then there's an additional couple of cards. There's an additional card for the artwork. And then you've got a little instruction card on how to clean resin, because I guess they're all how to clean and how to prime resin. And it talks about how to use spray can resin, like rattle can resin. I'm going to be priming these girls with Badger Stynel res, so it's going to be a little different. But I wanted to take a look here. That looks like some very nice resin. Now, obviously it needs some cleanup. I can see there's some little spots here and there. I'm going to take this out of the bag. Hopefully I don't drop this thing on the floor. She's got, oh, okay, those are her hands that need to be glued on and cleaned up. And then there's some little cleanup that needs to be done on these parts that are hanging off the chain on the back. And a little spot right there needs to be cleaned. Aside from those, I'm not seeing, there's a little bit of a mold line right there. A little bit one over the top of her head. And a little one down that leg. They're not terrible mold lines. And they look like they'd be pretty manageable. So I think these are going to be kind of fun to put together. And like I said, it comes with a 25mm slaughter base. You can kind of see how she's going to fit on that. But I'm going to put her on one of these 32mm Citadel bases. Kind of make her stand out a little more. Not sure which one I want to use. I think that one. That one looked pretty good on her. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here. Cut her off the sprue and clean her up and assemble her, and then we'll come back and take a look at her. Alright, so see you soon. Bye. Alright, we're back and got her assembled and on her new base, and she's looking pretty slick. The guns were a little bit more fidgety than I thought. Let me see if I can zoom in there a little bit. The gun hands were actually 2 separate pieces. They were just joined with more sprue that needed to be cut away and then glued onto the wrists there, and then had to cut away her base, of course, and then glue her onto the new base. But she's looking pretty good. The resin is really easy to clean up. Didn't take long at all to get that scraped clean and get those little excess bits trimmed away, and she's looking pretty good. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call that one done for right now. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at let's go ahead and pop open the rest of these and take a look at them. I'm not going to assemble them right now. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to assemble them a little bit later. But I wanted to take a look at least take a look at the quality of the miniatures. Cool. Again, 25mm slaughter base. Another how to clean and prime resin, which again only one card on that one. But now this one's a little different. This one looks like I had contacted the company to find out what these were made out of. This one looks more like dark gray plastic, like CW uses, but it feels like the resin. It's still got that kind of slick feeling that resin has. And that one looks like it's going to be a little more complicated to put together because she's got that leg that crosses over in front. And a lot more cleaning up to do here. Sorry, keep taking her off camera to take a look at her. Come on. Focus. There we go. Look at that. I really like there's lots of detail in these figures. Now these other ones, one thing I didn't do with Justicia that I'm going to do with the others is I'm probably going to put them in the sonic cleaner and clean them up. Because they don't necessarily feel like they've got release agent on them, but at the same time they feel a little slick. So it's entirely possible that they do. And maybe it's slick plastic, it may be release agent. Who knows? This one is Lapita Love, and then this one I'm taking out here is Rosario Vasquez. Now she's got a lot of stuff that needs to be cleaned up on her. She's got quite a bit of extra resin around the outside of hers, but again, it kind of feels like that's just going to come right off there fairly easily. But again, all really detailed figures. I'm guessing, I'm looking at her box art here to figure out how to put her together. Okay, so the inside of all that is going to need to be taken off. And then it's basically going to be hung upside down on the front of her. Alright. And last but not least, Sister Cookie La Loca. Very cool box art. I find it interesting that Raging Heroes is one of the few companies that doesn't have painted miniatures in their box art. Like they just come with this card that just shows a plain figure, and it's not pre-painted. So it kind of leaves it entirely up to the painter to decide their own color scheme. There's no quote-unquote right way of doing it. There's Cookie and her gun arm. Just glues right on there somewhere. Yeah, I think these would make good addition to. They scale at least about as well as the Sisters of Battle. Actually, let me pause and go grab one of the sisters. Hang on a second. Alright, so this is just a random battle sister from the Sisters of Battle Army box that I painted up last year. I can get it to focus in. Focus. The camera's going to give me much problems. Okay, so there's her, and then side by side there is the Raging Heroes sister. About the same scale. I mean, it was really not that I expected any different from 28mm, but I thought, you know, with different manufacturers between Games Workshop and Raging Heroes, that there would be a significant difference in scale. But nope, they are about the right size. Even their guns look about right. So yeah, these little Raging Heroes girls are going to be some fun to paint. I'm going to go ahead and assemble and prime these first 4 that I have, but then I'm going to paint them as 4 separate videos. So I'm going to take a break, get these other 3 cleaned up, come back when I've got them assembled, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I'll see you soon. Bye. Alright, brush monkeys, we're back, and we've taken the other 3 Daughters of the Crucible figures here out of the sonic bath, put them all in the ultrasonic cleaner, and it says to clean them with a combination of like a 50-50 mix of simple green and water. What I've got in there now is the same mix I use for cleaning my airbrushes, so it's Windex with a little bit of simple green and water in it. So I have put them here on this paper towel, put another paper, fold it down over the top of it, let that dry, and we'll give that a couple of days to dry completely, and then I'll come back and assemble them all. Right? So yeah, we'll come back in a couple of days and see how they look when they're done. See you soon. Bye. Alright, we're back, and the day has passed, and I've got the sisters are all dry now, the ones I put through the sonic cleaner. This one is Rosario Vasquez, if I can get it to focus. She's the second one I put together. She looks pretty good. She's got all those nice little guns and stuff hanging down. I'm looking at this now thinking that a couple of these things don't actually need to be on there. Yeah. Gonna have to trim some stuff off of there. These are, in putting them together, they're really nice, but they're kind of fidgety. There's some little bits on them that are just, it's kind of hard to line up the hands with the wrist sockets and that kind of thing, and so it's really kind of fidgety about getting the parts on there and removing them if you've glued the wrong thing on there, apparently. If you think about it, like, they go together a little bit more like, there we go, that's got it. They go together a little bit more like the Malifaux figures than GW's Sisters of Battle. Even though they're the same kind of scale, there's just really tiny fragile parts on there that make it a little bit difficult to get together. But you see, that's her box art, and there was that plastic between the hands and the guns that I needed to clean off of there. But she's looking pretty good now. I'm going to go ahead and get the other 2 cleaned up and put together, and then we'll break out the airbrush and the Stynylrez primers and prime them and see how they look when we're done with that, right? And see how they take the primer too. So I'm going to go ahead and pause now, and I'll come back when these girls are primered. All right, see you soon. Bye. Alright, I'm back, and as you can see, the nuns with guns are all zenithal primed. They are looking really, really spectacular. I'm really happy with how these are turning out. I've never really been disappointed with the Badger Stynylrez as a primer. I think it gets really good results, and with really detailed minis like these, it gets really fantastic results. You can see, picks out all those little details. Get that nice dark undercoating. I think these girls are going to look really, really spectacular when they're done. There's, if I can get her to focus, it's a Rosario Vasquez there. You can see the detail on her guns and the rosaries, whatnot. Then we got Cookie La Loca here. She's looking really good. I think these are going to end up being really kind of all kinds of sexy and badass by the time I get done with them. But you can see all those little details just pop with that zenithal priming. And I think that's really going to look spectacular when I get the paint on them. Get to put some paint on these girls. And that is going to start next week. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up now. Next week we'll be starting in on painting them, starting with Sister Lupita Love here. This one right here is the one we're starting with next week. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Stick around and see how these girls turn out. Alright, see you then. Bye. Hey Brush Monkeys, Tom from Flying Monkey Studios here. If you like what you see, click like down below. If you want to be notified when new videos come out, click subscribe. Both of those help me with my YouTube numbers and help support me doing and what I do best. Speaking of which, if you want to support me more directly, you can visit my Patreon site and go on my Instagram page to see all the miniatures that I paint on this site and how to get your hands on one of your own if you want one. We're also on Facebook and Twitter. You can check both of those to see when new videos get posted. And visit my merch store at storefrontier.com/flyingmonkeystudios. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.